Hello, this is Toni Langhans with Figured Out Baseball. I'm a registered dietitian, a certified specialist in sports dietetics, and I'm the director of sports nutrition at Oregon State University. Today we're going to be talking about your relationship with food. Now this is a really tricky topic for most athletes, and the reason for that is there's so many diverse pieces of information everywhere. Some of it's valid, some of it's not. Looking at food as fuel can sometimes affect your relationship with food, both good and bad. The big thing I'm going to talk about today is how you should address your restrictive behavior, or the opposite way if you are just a junk food fiend. So a couple different things. Food as an athlete is very critical for how you perform. So that definitely can't be taken away. But another thing to consider is that food is really integrated into our culture, our memories, our childhood, and holidays as well. And it's really a big part of our lives, and how we feel about it is very important. And so what we don't want is for athletes to be really restrictive with what they're eating. A lot of times you think that maybe professionals, or for you to be at your best, you need to be 100% can't eat anything that's, quote, bad. Making sure that you're not doing that is going to actually help your performance. There's a lot of evidence that shows, as well as my personal experience with athletes, if you are too restrictive, this can actually really affect your recovery. So if you will only eat certain foods, if you have certain food rules where you avoid entire food groups in general, this will affect your recovery after training and for you to be able to perform at your best the next day. So making sure that you are looking at whatever food rules you have now and asking yourself, where did this come from? Why am I doing this? And how is this going to help me? And that will really help you kind of shift through what you have going on and see if it's something that you need to keep in place or maybe alter a little bit. And so one of the big things that you're going to want to do is kind of have a journal or write down some of these things, any foods that maybe you avoid, why this is, and so that you can actually go through it and understand kind of what you're doing for yourself. The other thing to be thinking about is looking at when you're hungry. So having a hunger scale or a hunger amount is really important. So am I waiting until I'm a 1 or a 2 before I eat because I'm trying not to eat too much? This will actually lead to overconsumption or choosing not as nutrient dense items. So if you wait till you're starving, typically you waited a little too long. And so trying to eat more frequently will actually help you eat better at these meals, more performance balanced meals. And also this will help you from doing a yo-yo of energy throughout the day. So we really don't want that. We want a steady source of energy. Another thing to consider is if you're being very restrictive during the beginning of the day, whether on purpose or accident, you need to make sure that you are eating more balanced throughout the day so you don't have these crazy cravings at night. If you're someone who eats a small breakfast, a moderate lunch, maybe you don't eat a pre-practice snack, you only get a little something in afterward, and then you have a huge dinner, and then you also want to eat a whole bag of chips at night. This is because you're not getting your energy balance throughout the day. So trying to eat a little bit more frequently, front load those calories because you could actually use them a little bit better, and then instead of backloading them at the end of the day when you're just going to sleep. So making sure that you're thinking about that as well. And then another thing is for your body composition, if you are trying to make changes, this is something that is okay. Trying to gain weight or trying to lose weight, these are not inherently bad, and you shouldn't feel guilty about trying to have a weight goal. However, your weight goal should really not be the same as your nutrition goal. If you're trying to eat for performance and train well, typically your weight will kind of fall where it needs to be. So making sure that your goals are not just weight related, but nutrition and how you're going to get to that better performance, or how you're going to gain lean mass or lose body fat, depending on what your needs and your goals are. So making sure that you're thinking critically about that, creating systems to reach these goals, and then also really considering what your relationship with food is, why you feel the way you do, and how maybe your relationship with food is affecting your training currently. My name is Toni Langhans. This was Figured Out Baseball Relationship with Food, and thanks for joining today.